Hey everybody, Tyler Dowse here from Ty's Torque Talk. Today we're looking at a 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, and then this is with the Xtreme 35 off-road package. So we got some more fancy off-road gear on this guy here. But anyways, we're down in Plano, Texas at Huffines Jeep Dodge Ram Chrysler dealership. Billy was nice enough to give us the vehicle for the day, so if you're in the area and need a new ride, reach out to him down below. But anyways, the Jeep Wrangler, this has been out since the mid-80s now. We've gone through the YJ, the TJ, the JK, and now we're on the JL, which has gotten a slightly new facelift for the 2024 model year. But anyways, this is one of my personal favorite vehicles out there. So I'm really excited to do our exterior, interior look, take this out on the road, see how it performs. Let's get to it. Okay, starting off at the exterior. We got that still the iconic Jeep shape look, everything to it, which I love. They don't change a whole lot. They just kind of modernize it bit by bit. But anyways, starting off at the hood here, we got a lot of, it's a very good looking hood. You got the vents up there on top, even right up at the very front end there. The problem is they're fake ones, right? This is all fashion over function at the moment, unfortunately. But you do have some functional stuff on here, like for example, these clips here on the front, you can actually fold the windshield down, clip them onto here. So you can take the doors off, the top off, and even fold that windshield down. And one more thing while we're talking about the windshield, they actually, in the 2024 for the JL, they actually removed their antenna, finally. They're probably the last vehicle in the entire world to actually have the long, tall standing antenna sticking out. They actually integrated it into the windshield. Now, it actually looks cool. It cleans up the front end. It's a nice touch, but everybody knows one thing, and I'm from Alberta, where everything, it doesn't have to be a Wrangler with a flat windshield. Everything's prone to rock chips, right? So by this guy with being a very flat windshield, I feel like that's gonna jack up the price of the windshield repair costs even more, but it is kind of neat. Anyways, moving over to the front end, down below, 7-slotted Jeep famous grille here, showing you can conquer all 7 continents of the world. We got our forward-facing camera here. Even has a little spritzer on it. I'll show you the button when we go inside. You can actually click it and it'll splash water when you're off-roading on those trails and it gets all mucked up. We got plastic bumpers on this guy. When you go into the Rubicon X, they'll be standard. And then on the normal Rubicon, it's just optional equipment. This one's not outfitted for it. One little thing that they did change with that 2024 facelift, to the JL model is they actually shrunk the grille a little bit. Now, usually they go bigger grills as the vehicles get newer, everybody knows that. But the reason why they actually shrunk it slightly is because in the Rubicon X and the Rubicon, you actually have optional equipment where you can get a winch on the front here, and it covers up part of the grille from before the facelift. So they shrunk it down a little bit so it wouldn't eat up any of that grille real estate. Then you got your red Rubicon tow hooks. This does come with the LED lighting package. So you get LED backlights, the LED halo running daytime LEDs, and then headlights, high beams, and fogs down below, and turn signals. And you got more daytime running LEDs on there as well too. Anyways, coming around the side, fenders. So on the Rubicon, they're actually lifted up over a bit. They stand a bit taller than you will on like a Sahara or a Sport or whatnot. It's just to fit larger, more aggressive off-roading tires. And while we're talking about off-roading tires, this is with the Xtreme 35 off-roading package. So you get 33-inch BF Goodrich tires, 35 BF Goodrich tires, and then you got 17-inch aluminum rims here. And then inside here, we got a 5-coil spring suspension, and then also Fox 2.0 monotube shocks for that bit of extra off-road capability. And one more touch comes the suspension inside. I'll show you the switch for it. This does have electronic sway bar disconnect. So basically, the sway bar is always connected to your axles. When you do the disconnect, they'll disconnect from the axles, and it'll actually let your wheels articulate independently to make it a little bit less bouncy and rocky in the interior of the cabin. It'll keep it more level and planted. It gives you a bit more capability. But anyways, rock rails here on the side, they are metal as well too. And then you got blind spot monitoring on the mirrors. You got all your red Rubicon badging, ruby red. So you got for the Rubicon sticker, your trail rated, and the Jeep down below. You got your little Wrangler with the American flag. I kind of wish they would you know, instead of a sticker, maybe you use the same, what's this plastic? It's not actually like a chrome or like an aluminum decal, but I think it'd be kind of neat if they did that. But anyways, underneath, you're gonna have skid plates protecting your fuel tank, transmission, and transfer case. You do have even though they're the cheaper plastic door handles on this guy, when you go to that high altitude trim, you get nicer door handles, but these still have the proximity key. So with key in my pocket here, these will unlock, or you can click the button on the side of it just to lock it up. Then working way back, you got your fuel cap, and then we got those LED lights on the back, and they're also LED reverse lights as well too. I really like LED reverse lights because it kind of classes up, makes it look really sharp. But then you got your full-size BF Goodrich off-roading KO2 tire here on the back. Then you got your backup camera right there. And then, what was else? Oh yeah, you got backup sensors down below. Another little red recovery hook there. This does come with your tow package as well. If you get really low, you can see those Fox 2.0 monotube shocks down below, and they are red. So we all know that actually adds about an extra 15, 20 horsepower when they're red. But anyhow, let's pop this back hatch open. I want to show you how much storage you actually get in the back of this Jeep here. Okay, trunk time now. We're gonna start this off. Have a look at the key fob. So key fob, just your unlock lock button. Double click this guy for the remote start. Back end, you just got the Jeep name there. Kind of rugged, neat looking key. You got the switchblade key that pops out there. But overall, it's a good functional key. It's not massive, super overly bulky. One spec I forgot to give you guys actually when we were doing the exterior right before this here is the approach departure angle and the overall ground clearance. So with this Xtreme 35 off-road package, your approach angle is 47.4 degrees on the front. Departure, you're going to be 34.5 degrees. And then your overall ground clearance is 12.9 inches, which is huge. This is an awesome off-roading vehicle. But anyways, let's have a look at the cargo room, see how much you can actually fit inside here. So you got the 2-stage opening back gate here. You can get some kind of neat aftermarket stuff for like camping, tailgating on here. Like I've seen a lot of people, they can actually pull this panel off. You can actually put it in like a table and stuff that flips out, and like a grill and stuff on it. It's really neat what you can actually do with these things. The most customizable vehicles probably in the entire world. But anyways, one complaint I have with actually opening this back hatch is this part here. So you lift up the glass, there's nothing right here stopping any water. So if it's a rainy day, and I've been caught in this many times myself, this glass is covered in water, you open this up, lean in to grab something, it's like a waterfall drips down onto you. But you get tons of cargo space, so have a look inside there. So with the seats, when they're folded up in the normal seating position in the back end there, you're gonna have 31.7 cubic feet of space. And then when the seats are folded down, just as they are right now, that's 72.4 cubic feet of storage space, which in a mid-size SUV is actually quite a lot, just because it does stand quite tall. So practicality, using this for a functional all-around vehicle, it's quite functional at the end of the day. Then you got lots of tie-down spots, nice aluminum tie-down points all over the sides there. This lifts up, you can use this as a storage bin, or it actually has a drain plug, so you can fill this all up with ice. Use it for tailgating, fill it up with ice, throw some beers in there, whatever it might be, or just have a couple cold drinks when you're going off-roading in the Sahara Desert. Then you got some a 12-volt charging outlet right here on the side. Your little JL stamped into your plastic on the back there. But then I love all the exposed like roll cage and everything inside here, just because obviously you can pull the doors off, take the roof off, or in this case, you got the Freedom roof and it just glides on back, which we'll show you in just a second here. Then you got your subwoofer for your Alpine sound system there. But anyhow, that really wraps up the whole back end of this Jeep. I say we hop in the passenger side now, see how comfortable that front seat is. Okay guys, interior of the JL. Starting off with the doors. So doors, super plain Jane, really simple, cheap plastic all around. You get a little bit of soft touch there right where your arm rests. But at the end of the day, this is a Wrangler, right? You're gonna be popping the doors off, storing them in your garage, throwing them in the backyard out in the sun. You know, it might rain outside on it. This isn't a Maybach door. But anyways, so plain Jane, but you got you know, metal handle, the aluminum handles there. You have your door unlock and lock button there. Just no window controls because the window controls are on the center, on the dash, sorry. And then you got your storage net down there at the bottom. Anyways, move on inside now. So coming through the dash, you got a couple old crap handles. So you got one here right up on the front end, and then one right up above that there. So you're gonna need both of them at the same time where you're gonna be able to take this off-roading beast. But dash here, it's kind of like a rubberized almost texture. You got that Rubicon red stitching down there. You got circular vents here in the middle, and then you got rectangular ones in the middle. But all nice leather wrapped up top. You got a couple speakers up there. They have this kind of little tray sort of thing. This is actually removable, and then it'll have a flat surface where you can actually mount a GoPro and get some cool footage out on the trails. But anyways, you got your rear view mirror, but it's unfortunately not a electronic one. That'd be one kind of neat piece of equipment I would like to see in the next model of, or facelift, refresh, whatever it might be, of the Wrangler. It's fine that they don't have it. One thing that this package does have, and it's one of my favorite packages with the Wrangler all together, the little buttons up here. You click that one, we got our Freedom roof up top. So if you're, you know, too late, don't have the storage room, whatever, to keep a full roof for this vehicle and store it in your house, you pop that back. If you're like 7.5 feet tall and you don't have enough headroom, pop that open and you got endless amount of space here. But anyways, something flew in my eye there. Working our way down here. Let me close this just so the lighting's actually better. The infotainment screen here. This is the Uconnect 5 infotainment screen. I like that they made it horizontal, and there's a big reason for that. When you get, you know, like the pickup trucks owned by the same company, the Ram 1500, you got the big, tall 14.5-inch vertical screen, which I don't like as much. I like horizontal ones because then when you put it into reverse, pull out the backup camera, you get more of the screen you can actually use. Where like when you have the 14.5-inch screen vertically, it only shows up just a tiny little bit there. But you get super high resolution on your backup camera with your oh my gosh, I couldn't think of the words. Your mapping for where your tires go. Sorry, can't think of the word right now for some reason. And you got the line right down in the middle. So if you are hooking a trailer up, it makes it super easy. Also you can click the button right here for your forward-facing camera, and then trajectory mapping. That's what I was trying to think of, but it actually shows you right where your tire path is, which is extremely useful for when you're off-roading, so you can avoid hitting hazards and whatnot out there on the road. But anyways, Uconnect 5, I love this infotainment system. It's extremely responsive, very intuitive. The map it's crystal clear, animations, everything like that. And the brightness is great in this. So they actually Jeep takes into mind that you can take the roof off and you're gonna be getting direct sunlight on this screen. So they actually make it to the point where it gets bright enough they can have direct sunlight all day shining on the screen, and you'll still be able to read everything clearly. But you can go down to your vehicle page down here. You can go to your off-road pages, and right, you can get your vehicle dynamics. It'll tell you what degree you're turning your wheels at, shows you which way here, and it tells you if your sway bar is connected, front axle, rear axle, lockers, transfer case, all that good stuff. Then you have your accessory gauges here, pitch and roll angles, or you can access your forward-facing camera there as well. I would like to see 360-degree cameras on this. I get why they can't put them on the side of the mirror caps. That makes sense. But I mean, they could put them on the fender or around the fender area. I think that'd be a really useful tool for off-roaders. But anyways, that's our Uconnect 5. The one thing I don't like about you got the gloss black on either side, but the good thing is there's no buttons on it. Like again, in the Ram 1500, this is where you'd have your heated seats, ventilated seats buttons will all be right here, and then they get fingerprinted and yucked up and full of dust and whatnot. As you come on down, manual temperature controls. You got real physical dials for your volume, fan speeds, all that. I love that. I hate when everything's integrated in the screen. Then you got your heated steering wheel, heated seats with 3 stages for your driver and passenger, none in the back seat, of course. Then you got your pesky on-off engine start-stop button there, which we always turn off right when we hop in. Your crawl control mode right down there, parking sensors button. You can also just turn your infotainment screen off with that one there. And then you come down here, you got boatloads of charging. So you got USB-C, USB-A, 12 volt on the left side, and an auxiliary cord. Then you got your window controls right here. And then this little red bit here, front and rear locking axle, you flip the switch up or you go down for rear only. Then you got your off-road plus mode, and then that sway bar disconnect that we were talking about outside that lets your tires articulate independently from each other. Then you got your 4 auxiliary switches. So if you want to add some aftermarket lighting and goodies and whatnot, you can wire them up right into the dash there, make it nice and convenient. Then you got your old school manual switch gear here, 4 going into two-wheel drive, 4 high, neutral, and 4 low. And then you also got a neutral for flat towing. So if you want to tow us behind an RV, you can do that in this guy. Then working all the way back, I love this. I hate electronic parking brakes. I love manual ones. I'm so happy they're keeping it. And then you got your 2 cup holders and a slot in the middle for your phone. Then center console, you got the nice shallow tray in here. And then you got the deeper pit down there. And there's just one USB-C charger outlet in there. What I would like to see in the future as well, this little shallow spot here, I wish they had like a USB-C and a USB-A or something, but not a whole lot to nitpick. And then the seats, again, this is the cloth package. You can get this with leather, of course, which I would prefer, especially if you are taking the doors off and going off-roading. So much easier to clean up dirt and debris from a leather seat than having to basically go carpet cleaning mode and clean your cloth seats. But they are very comfortable. All right, they're all manual. They're not power seats. When you get that is optional now. You actually, first time you're available for power seats is with the 2024 JL refresh. But you got your nice ruby red stitching. You got your Rubicon name right embroidered into the back of the seat there. But that's about enough for the passenger side here. Let's hop over in the driver's seat, have a look at the steering wheel gauge setup in this Rubicon. Okay guys, driver's side time. Doors, exact same, except you got your controls there for the side mirrors. Same mesh door pockets, no leather, all that good stuff. Your manual seats, like I mentioned beforehand. But anyways, come on in. Let's have a look at our steering wheel here and display screen for the Wrangler. So, I love this steering wheel. It's very premium feeling. You got the ruby red stitching, cross stitch work, looking super sharp, all leather. It's great. Then you got your center horn. It looks rugged. It looks like the off-roading machine that it should be. Left-hand side here, you're gonna be controls for your information, speedometers, all that good stuff here. So center screen, you got your speedometer. You can scroll down through, well, I think you actually have 2 options for this. Oh no, never mind, you only have the one, my bad. Vehicle information, right? You can check your battery, your tire pressure. Don't forget to lower down your tire pressure before you go hit the trails and then pump it back up when you're heading home. Then coolant temp, transmission temp, oil pressure, oil life, all of it. All right, then you got your off-road mode here, right? Shows you that degree that you're turning your wheel at. Super useful, your pitch and roll. And then you keep going down. Driver assistance, like you got adaptive cruise control now in the JLs. Your fuel economy, it gets a little better than 11.4. I just have had it idling a lot during this video, obviously, and we've been driving it pretty hard on the test drive as well. Then you got your trip A and B's, and then engine start stop, audio, messages, settings, screen setup, all that stuff. But anyways, back to the speedometer. Then the right-hand side here, we got our cruise control options. So you got right-hand side will be adjusting the speed, and then the left-hand here will be for the adaptive cruise control. So it actually can hold you behind vehicles ahead of you. And then left of the steering wheel, you just have your lighting for exterior and then interior lighting as well. One thing I forgot to actually point out beforehand, I promised you I would, for that forward-facing camera, you got your clean camera and rear glass. So if you hold that down, spritzes it. Get it all cleaned up so you can see those trails nice and clear there. But anyways, that's most of the front right. I didn't touch on like the speedometers, obviously this old school analog dials. I actually really like them. They look good. You know, it kind of reminds me, I'm not to compare directly to a Porsche, but I like that, you know, say vehicles like Porsche and whatnot are still keeping the old analog dials and haven't transformed fully to the all digital screen. I think this is a good setup. It's a nice happy medium. It keeps everybody happy. But maybe I imagine for the next refresh coming down in a few years, they will make this an entire digital screen. But anyhow, I say now we hop into the back seat now of our Wrangler, see how comfortable those rear seating passengers are. Okay guys, back seat time now in the Wrangler Rubicon. Doors, they're kind of the same as the front. It's just all the plastic, kind of cheaper plastic. You got your little door bin mesh there. But seating position is very good. So even with this, we got the Freedom roof here. So you got all the headroom you could ever imagine. No one's bumping their head, even if you're in the middle seat here. Tons of room there. But anyways, this front seat is set up to exactly where I would be. I'm 6 feet tall and got the seatbelt right in my butt there. But anyways, seating position, lots of leg room. As you know, tons of headroom. But even with that Freedom roof closed, I still got plenty. I'm nowhere near touching. But I'll slide on over here. This is just the cloth interior, as I mentioned. Oh, I guess I mentioned that in the front seat there. But you got more storage of the netting on the back of the seats here. The seats in the back are very comfortable. The one complaint that I do have is the hump right here in the middle, right? It's not like, you say like the Ram 1500 pickup truck where it's a nice flat bottom floor. So there is that hump here, which kind of sucks a little bit, but the footwells are nice and big. So if you do have 3 passengers back here, you can share a little bit of that legroom. But even, again, with the Freedom roof closed and I'm sitting in the middle, my head's still not hitting the ceiling, which is fantastic. Because normally in any SUV or sedan, whatever it might be, my head hits all the time in the middle row. But you got, with the cloth interior, you don't have a center armrest that pops down. When you get the cloth package, you have an armrest that pops down there. But so you'll just have to make do with just the doors here. But then as you come inside, your window controls right here on the front on the center console area, just because you can't have them on the doors because they pop off. You got your home power source down there. You got 2 cup holders. And other than that, it's a very simple back seat. And you got vents there, I forgot to point them out, but it's a very simple back seat. There's not much to them, right? All the exciting parts of the Wrangler is, front seat. There's a lot of tech, obviously, as we kind of went over there. But then the off-roading fun capability. It doesn't matter where you're sitting inside of this thing. Where you're going off-roading, it's fun no matter what. Oh, and then also in the support bars here and everything, you got your more Alpine speakers right on the top there as well too. But anyhow, let's pop the hood now. See which engine option we have in this Rubicon. Okay, pop the hood on this guy. It's got the latches here on the side. There's no switch actually inside the vehicle to flick. You pop those open and then you got the little thing inside there. Pop rod on this. It's not strut assisted as expected. But anyways, have a look at this engine. So this is my personal favorite one. This is the famous 3.6 liter V6 Pentastar engine. Probably the longest standing Wrangler engine for the past decade or a little bit more here. But anyways, in the Pentastar you get 285 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. You also have the option to do this in a 2-liter turbo with 270 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. Both of those made to an 8-speed manual, or sorry, 8-speed automatic transmission, sorry. And then if you want to get with the times now, you can always go 4xe. You get that 2-liter turbo with the electric motors on it. It's a hybrid engine. And that's going to be pushing out a bit more power. So you got 375 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. And then the final one is the Rubicon 392 Final Edition, which is going to be pumping out 470 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. Let's not talk about the fuel economy that comes with that engine option. That's my personal favorite, but it'll definitely cost you $1 or $2 to, well, even initial purchase price and filling up at the pumps and everything. But anyways, let's get behind the driver's seat, take this Pentastar engine here out onto the road, see how it performs. Okay guys, here we are driving the Wrangler Rubicon. So we're started off here. See how quick it is at that 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 for a little bit of brake torque, and here we go. So there's 0 to 50 there. It's a good engine. I've always loved the Pentastar engine. Like I said, it's been around for a long time now. They've used it in multiple different vehicles. It's probably the most tried and true engine, in my opinion, that Jeep is currently offering. And it delivers a good amount of power. We were just a hair under 300 horsepower. Here, we'll hit it. We're gonna floor it one more time, starting at 40 miles per hour. 3, 2, 1. There we go. And it's a good amount of power. The thing is, it's not a thrilling you know, high horsepower performance engine by any means, right? It's just a V6 naturally aspirated. It does exactly what you need it to do, and it does it really well, right? If you're using this for what the vehicle is actually intended for, you know, you can use it for your point A to B driving during the work week, and then on the weekends take it out off-roading. You know, on the trails, this engine performs very well. And when you, like I said, when you use it for what it's meant for, it does a great job at all of that. So overall, all around, I'm a big Pentastar fan, right? If you want a little bit better fuel economy, I guess technically more torque as well too, I'd go to that 4-cylinder or turbo. But if you want to really go for that fuel economy with this big squared off, not exactly very aerodynamic body here, 4xe, right? And if you want that performance engine, you always have the 392, right? You're basically, it's an SRT Wrangler pretty much. I can go for that. But all around driving it, just like right now here on the street, as you can probably see, I'm kind of bouncing back and forth a bit. You know, it's a Wrangler. It's meant for off-roading, right? The Fox suspension. There's a good amount of travel in it, and it feels kind of like you're in a boat, right? It absorbs bumps and stuff really well in the road, but it bounces you around quite a bit. And you know, for everyday driving, if that's all you're using this thing for, it's not the best, right? If you're gonna use it for an everyday driver, go for the Grand Cherokee if you want to stay in the Jeep brand. But for somebody like me, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is like one of my personal favorite vehicles since I was a little kid. I love it. So I mean, like, I can deal with, you know, the unsteadiness, the rocky, slightly more uncomfortable drive of this, and it's noisy as well too. You get a lot of wind noise, you get a lot of wheel noise, especially with the Xtreme 35 off-road package, those 35-inch BF Goodrich KO2s. They get a lot of wheel noise in it. And even wind noise. Wind noise comes in, you know, it's noisy in here at 40 miles per hour, where a lot of other, even like off-roading, say pickup trucks and whatnot, you don't really notice it until you get in like the 60, 70 mark area. But so again, this vehicle, it's not for everybody. If you're like me, you'll love it. Absolutely love it. I love everything about this vehicle. So I might be a little bit biased when I talk about it, but then, you know, your luxurious amenity features, right? You have your heated seats and steering wheel and whatnot. I need those personally because I'm from Canada, right? So down here in Texas, we're at the beginning of January-ish right now, and it's 23 degrees, and I got short sleeved shirt on right now. And so hopefully one day I'll be moving down south here, but definitely when I go back home, I'm gonna be using and abusing that heated steering wheel and seats and everything there. But overall, right, the rest of it, right, the interior, it's pretty to look at. It's all around. It's a great looking vehicle inside and out. Just a little unsteady to drive for your everydayers, but for what it's made for, it does it really, really, really well. Probably the best out there straight from the factory. But anyways, now we got to take this guy back to Billy there at Huffins Chrysler. So we'll see you guys back outside in a minute here. Okay guys, that has been the 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Really appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this Rubicon. Do you think it's better than its main rival, the Ford Bronco? All right, hopefully we'll be getting the Bronco on the channel pretty soon here so you can watch them back to back, do a nice closer comparison of the two. I really like this guy. We'll see what the future holds when we go look at a Bronco next. But anyways, if you are not a subscriber already, hit that like, comment, subscribe button down below. If you are a subscriber, thanks for following me. Thanks for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Other than that, we'll see you on the next one.